Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Invictus Racing League F1 Xbox here on Formula 1 2021. I'm your host, Papa Goose, and I'm joined by the wonderful Matty Valander for tonight's race round Zandvoort. How are you doing, Matty? I am doing just fine. Just a reminder to everybody that this is only round 10 in the championship. We've still got a few rounds left to go, but what a fantastic track this is to race around tonight here in the Netherlands. Just a little bit of housekeeping. Obviously, this stream is sponsored by Driver61, Grid Finder, and GT Omega as our title sponsor for Invictus Racing League. So yeah, let's get started. I was speaking to Matty just a wee bit before the stream there about all of the fantastic information that we've been given once again, and obviously looking at the championship standings, and it looks like Ferrari are just carrying this championship by the shoulders and running away with it. Isn't that right, Matty? Exactly, and it's definitely, you know, it's not said and done yet, is it? You know, we're looking at the championship standings at the moment, and obviously we've still got quite a few rounds left to go. But just, you know, Matty, I'm pretty sure you've seen it already. Obviously, Botch Gerbil. How many points is he ahead right now? So I think he's like 92 points. I think you need to include your audio, buddy. Just go and check that.
Hopefully they can hear me now.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, so Botch Gerbil is, you're testing my maths here, is about 19 points clear from what I believe. I'm 19 points clear of Liverpool Ewan in the AlphaTauri, so it's one of those situations now where every point matters for him.
Definitely, I think he's got to make.
Yeah, they can hear
tonight.
me. Yeah, perfect. So certainly Liverpool Ewan has got to be honest with you, I think Botch Gerbil, if he keeps doing what he has been doing, which is consistently scoring points, then he's got the real potential to keep the pressure on Liverpool Ewan. And I think Liverpool Ewan's got the most to lose because he knows the pressure is on him to really score some decent points over the next few weeks.
Definitely is. And just I'm going to talk about the man of the hour as well. Fantastic time out in Russia the last time that we watched the race, and that was Mr. PSR Harry. Tonight he can actually hold the record alongside the one and only DJ Danny for the most race wins in an F1 Xbox season, and that could be 5. So currently he is on 4. He just needs to get that one more and he will be tied at the top for that record as well. You know, he's had exceptional form, especially on certain tracks. I think we definitely saw it around Russia. Do you think this is a track that he could potentially be strong at, Matty?
Well, PSR Harry is, you know, I'm looking at his races this season, and what I think is going to worry every driver out on that grid is that he's not raced an awful lot of races this season compared to some drivers. I'm looking at it now, and he's raced 5 races this season. He's raced 5 races, and he's put himself in the position where he really is fighting for this championship. He's fighting for podiums, which, you know, imagine where he'd be if he'd raced every single race. Zandvoort's a tricky track, you know, it's banked, the curbs are deadly. You know, I've had my own falls here in another league when I crashed on the curb just after a safety car restart. It's a tricky track to navigate, but if any drivers can, it's the top quality here that can. And look at that, PSR Harry straight away into the 110s on medium tyres.
Definitely, I mean, that just shows you the overall pace. I mean, MC Decoder could be potentially considered the second driver for Williams this season, as Smates is joining us tonight. mates is currently 4th in the championship. You know, he's a little bit further adrift. Obviously, I think he's only around about 52 points from what I read in the championship. I just need to go and check my notes for that. He's actually 51 points. Harry is 72 points, and he is 3rd. So, I mean, you know, he's got a bit of a gap to make up, and obviously only 15 points for a win, and then another point for the fastest lap. And it did look like as we were watching Joey, he just did inval on the bank, just before the banking there, which is very unfortunate. He was on for a lap on the top spot, but Lucky Do is currently on a lap right now in the Alpha Tauri. Another driver that's been
just to say, Joey has had a spin, I believe, but coming out of the pit lane or just coming around turn 1. I think he's just coming around turn 1. He's had a spin. Doesn't look like any damage on the Alfa Romeo, but obviously he is on. Oh, he spun again into the wall. I think the tyres were a little bit too warm, and he's ended up trying to put a little bit of pressure on a little bit too early. And what he's doing now is he's trying to stay out of the way of everybody. There's a Mercedes coming around, trying not to hinder it. Fantastic there from Joey to get out of the way. But he's now ruined a set of soft tyres, and he's got to go and have a front wing change. Disastrous start to qualifying there for Joey.
Exactly. I think he's not going to be too happy with the fact that he's just bumped his front wing off the wall, but I'm sure, you know, as the laps do rack up here, we've got 12 minutes 40 to go left in quali. You know, there's still plenty of time to get a few good laps in. Nathan HRX, another driver, he's actually probably one of the most unlucky drivers here in Invictus Racing League. He was alongside Jamie29X as well for the same kind of issue before Jamie29X got a podium it was a season back. But Nathan HRX currently, I think it's 22 races without a podium finish, and he's currently holding that record, which is not the best.
Every race I've commentated on this season, as Sir Sharks goes P4 there with a 111.2. Every race I've commentated on, I've said I think Nathan's going to get a podium this race. I said I think Nathan's going to break that record. I'm not going to say it today because I've got a feeling it's me actually cursing him. So I'm no longer going to say I think Nathan's going to get a podium. I think I don't think he's going to get a podium, and then fingers crossed that works.
Well, I mean, talking about that there, Nathan HRX, he was on medium tyres where he set his fastest lap. So, and that's only a 111.2, and PSR Harry's a 110.9. So I think that could be very much a difference in literally just tyre temps. So as we look at the overall right now, you know, Botch Gerbil, a 110.2, you know, he's 2 temps up on Liverpool Ewan, and PSR Harry obviously going to try and start on the medium tyres if he can, but he doesn't want to put too much on the tyres to start off with. Fran's out in the McLaren at the moment. He's on an outlap. Another driver that we haven't seen too much of this season, isn't it? You know, he's not really managed to perform to the best of what I think of his abilities are, but we'll see how he manages this race. Only 2 drivers to set a time. Obviously, Jamie29X not going to be able to set a time today. He has retired from the session. But Joey 645 currently in the pit, waiting to see if he can maybe get back out and set a time.
Interestingly, DCRS mate went out on the mediums, and I think relative to the people around him, he set a very, very good time there on the mediums with a 112.335, which on medium tyres, when you compare it to the drivers above them, on the soft tyres, that's a relatively good time when you think of how much time he could save when he goes out on the soft, which I'm assuming he will do. PSR Harry though, what a lap!
And he's just up. That is 3/1000ths of a second faster than Botch Gerbil on the soft tyres. So that's very close there into the midsection of qualifying. But Raza 410 comes across, goes P4 and a 110.9 on the soft compounded tyres. I think he's gonna be all right with that. You know, the second Ferrari for this season. He's had a few kind of rough patches, you know, but I mean, when we watched him out in Russia, fantastic teamwork from him and Botch Gerbil to try and hold back the other drivers. Just just don't think it ended up very well, if I remember rightly, for him.
Talking
But
of
either
botched,
way, it's been fantastic.
talking of botched gerbil, he is only very, very just behind PSR Harry, and I am actually on board with him here. And he seems to be absolutely flying as he's just about to start Sector 2. He's absolutely flying here. He's kept it nice and tidy, nice and neat. Seems to be good. Doesn't seem to be as quick as his first time though. I'm not seeing purple sectors, but he's very, very close to PSR Harry. He's surely got to be thinking that he can really challenge Harry if he gets the timings right today. As Nathan's had a spin,
Exactly.
unfortunately, but he is back on the track. Doesn't look like any damage.
Just as we're watching here, I just want to remind everybody of our schedule for the week. Obviously, most of these are PlayStation and PC. Botched Gerbil dives into the pits there, but PS F1 is on a Monday. All of these start at 8 PM,
sorry to interrupt you. MCD Code has lost his front wing. He's lost all of his front wing.
So that's not going to be very
I'm
happy
not sure where it's gone or
finishing
who
for him.
took it, but a member of the steward team is going home with a souvenir.
Exactly. But yes, so obviously F1 on a Monday, live on YouTube, and F2 on the Tuesday, live on YouTube. We got the fantastic co-coms and commentators over there on the YouTube channel. They'll be keeping you company on those nights as well. Obviously you've got us on a Tuesday night here on the Twitch channel, and F3 on Wednesday nights, live on YouTube, and also another 2 races to go on Wednesday nights. You've got the PC F3 League and the PC F2 League also on a Wednesday night. And to add to all of that, you've also got the PlayStation RP on a Thursday night. Exactly the same night, and it used to be on exactly the same time as us when we did the RP League here on the Xbox. Hopefully we can get that up and running again soon.
So I've just put a message in chat asking who people in chat think's going to take the win today. I see PSR Harry. I say for the win. Nathan HRX is been thrown about in there as well. Some very, very bold shouts in there. Oh, we've got another spinning
How dare you
car.
say his name in vain.
Got another spinning car. I believe it's Smates again, is it? Or is it the Haas for PSR Harry? I definitely saw a car spin. I'm not sure which one it was. I was flicking between the chat and seeing, and I saw it in the background whilst on board. Doesn't look like anybody's got any damage though, but Joey's round. Joey is round. Doesn't look like any front wing damage as he's trying to get out the way of the Mercedes. He's trying to get out the way of the Haas, and he's put it in the wall. He's not wrecked himself. I think he was able to do it in a way not to damage his front wing. If anything, that takes more skill. Joey is safe to keep going. I believe he's going to dive into the pits. He is well there to avoid, I believe it was PSR Harry, who's going round to start a flying lap. Liverpool Ewan is out as well. I think he's just finished a fly because he's a little bit down on his time.
Yeah, we just watched him finish a lap. He didn't necessarily do the best of laps. He was a bit scruffy out through Sector 2. But Sir Sharks right now, we're just watching his lap as he's going round in that Mercedes. He's the only Mercedes tonight.
We have got the wonderful partner in commentating with us, DomThNoodle, saying he's going for a Ferrari. I think he's hinting his bets right there and then. He's gone for his Ferrari. He's gone for botched gerbil or Raza. So Dom's putting all of his money on red this evening.
That is one way to do it. And I just want to say to everybody, hello. I am sorry that I'm not watching the chat as much. I'm just trying to keep an eye out on the chat as Sir Sharks does inval his lap in Sector 2 coming round into Sector 3.
So did PSR Harry there as well.
Up for everybody to see. As we're seeing everybody rushing into the pits now to get their final sets and get back out on the track ready for the start.
DCRS mates and that beautiful green Aston Martin of I'm hoping it's Cruz. I'm going to go with Cruz because I like that name. Cruz 26 coming out of the pits. They're going to be the first 2 to set fly flap, and if they've gone very early. Very, very early, and DCRS mates is actually on mediums, Andrew. He had a couple of spins. Potentially going to try and get a little bit quicker on the mediums.
It could be one way of doing it. The more time he spends kind of on those tires,
Oh,
the less laps you
the
get
Aston
on the
Martin
race.
spun. The Aston Martin is spun. He's going to burn those tyres up. Luckily, it's an outlap and it was in sector 2, so he's got a little bit of time to cool those tyres down before he goes for a flyer. But that's not going to be good for his tyre wear if he sets his fastest lap, which I believe he will, on those tyres.
Dom's just correcting your pronunciation there. It's called Cirrus.
Cirrus.
Is it Cirrus as in you see Russell?
We will move with the Cirrus.
Big Cirrus coming across the line to start his lap. Joey's quite far behind. I think he's been a little bit cautious after that few spins he had of it 12 minutes before the end of quali there. But, you know, we go on and we see how this all goes. We're just looking now. A lot of drivers still in the pits. Liverpool Ewan's out though. He wants to get out early.
I think Liverpool Ewan wants to set the benchmark. He wants to set put the pressure potentially on PSR Harry, Bosch, Gerbil and Raza, because if he puts it on pole with a couple of minutes to provisional pole with a couple of minutes to go, that forces Bosch, Gerbil and Harry to come out. So I think it could be very good thinking from himself there.
Definitely. I mean, Liverpool Ewan is in a very good position right now where he could, if he doesn't make a mess of the exit of the first bank corner, but he's still kind of pushing. He is up by 0.1 of a second so far. It won't be enough to necessarily take pole away right now, but very aggressive lines down at the bottom. It's really wide sweeping corner is one of my favorite corners on any racetrack. I absolutely love this part. It's such a wide stretch and you can make some really nice moves if you've got a lot of grip. Only down by 0.0. He's actually just up by 0.074. So he's lost a lot of time. He's actually backed out of his lap.
Cirrus was able to get a clean lap in, but it was only enough for a 1:17.0. I'm assuming he's going to go again. He's really only got one or two. He's really potentially only got 2 shots left at this, but you also don't want to do too many laps because of the tyres.
And that's Bosch Gerbil now out, and Franz is coming out of the pits, and we also just saw Joey come out of the pits, and Cirrus has had a disconnection. So I don't know if you want to try and see if you can get him back in. It is Cirrus 26, 2 S's.
Of course. See what I can do.
Either way, Bosch Gerbil is out, and so is PSR Harry. PSR Harry actually considerably out right now. He is going through sector 2.
So we've got MCD Coda. He's had a little bit of a struggle in this qualifying session in that Williams. He's spun a couple of times. He's lost his front wing as well. Is he just going to be trying to take a little bit more careful? Andrew, do you think he's still going to be pushing very, very hard to set the fastest lap he possibly can?
I think, personally, if that was me in that position, I would try my hardest to set the fastest lap I possibly could. You know, you've got 1 lap to go, you may as well try it. Nathan HRX diving out of the way for Bosch Gerbil, who's now going hard into the final corner. Let's see how this goes. Flies up on the main straight. PSR Harry has actually spun! PSR Harry has spun at the first banking, and that has ruined his last lap.
He's not going to get time to set another one. He's not going to get time to set another one. Over there.
All down to the Ferrari-powered Bosch Gerbil right now.
You say that, but Paul Ewan's on a lap as well. Oh, there's a spinning Alpine, and it's unfortunately Nathan. He's not going to get time to go again. There's no damage on that car, but he's not going to get any time to go again. Unfortunately for him. Smates is just coming out of the pit.
Eye on Bosch Gerbil as well as Liverpool Ewan. Bosch Gerbil, as he comes through sector 2, let's see how much speed he carries out of that corner. It looked pretty calm, but that can be very deceiving. He is a very, very quick driver. He is 2 tenths up. That is enough to take him to pole. He can't lose it now. He's got just 1 final long corner to go, pretty much, and that is it. Let's see if he can snatch the pole off of PSR Harry. And he does. He was a 110. Oh, fantastic lap there from Botch Gerbil, but what about Liverpool Ewan as he crosses the line? He doesn't manage to improve by much. He only gets about 1/100th of a second off there. That is, it's a very entertaining end to qualifying, as PSR Harry has been out-qualified by the one and only Botch Gerbil.
I don't believe nobody else is on a flying lap, unfortunately. So I think this is how it's going to stand.
Franz will cross the line. He doesn't manage to improve. Nathan HRX is diving into the pits, and IRL Mats will be diving into the pits, as there's a dead DACRS Smates sitting on the banking there. That could have been very, very much a problem for a few drivers, but that does end qualifying here at the Invictus Racing League, brought to you by GT Omega, Driver 61 and Grid Finder. You're live on Twitch every Tuesday night for some fantastic racing on the Xbox F1 League here. It's going to be good. I seriously think this is going to be a very close battle, because PSR Harry, if he didn't spin there, I reckon he could have been very close to Botch Gerbil finish. They were both so close in that whole qualifying session that it could have been very close overall. But here is your standings for qualifying. We have Botch Gerbil on pole position, and just lining up next to him is PSR Harry, only just missing out. And then Liverpool Ewan starts in the second row of the grid with Raza 410 alongside him. We have MC Decoder, and then Sir Sharks, IRL Mats, Franz, Nathan HRX, Joey, Smates, Lucky Do, C Russ, and Jamie 29X. And that pretty much ends our qualifying here. It's going to be good fun, I think. I can't wait for this race. I don't know about you, Matty, but it is a very close battle up there for first already.
It certainly is, and I mean, I feel sorry for PSR Harry, because I think when he has raced this season, he's been so consistent. So to have that spin on your last flying lap makes you wonder what that's going to do for his confidence going into turn 1, lap 1. If he's already spun, potentially he's going to be a little bit worried. We'll have to wait and see, obviously.
Exactly. Just going to read you a couple of pieces of information about this track. Obviously, it's the second time here at Zandvoort in our F1 Xbox career. And also, it is our first time in the 2021 game. Sir Sharks actually has his 40th IRL start today, which is very good from him. Well done for making that many starts. And also, Gerbil has 22 podiums in Invictus, and the record is 23, and that is owned by DJ Danny. So that can be very much matched today, and obviously Harry can break the record for the most wins in a season as well, and that is 5. So he can pretty much match that today. And obviously, it's going to be interesting to see where he finishes today overall, because Botch Gerbil there in qualifying definitely showed pace, but Harry was right next to him the whole time. So
the thing is, if PSR Harry hadn't have had that spin, would we be saying, would Botch Gerbil probably wouldn't be sat on pole? There's no offense to Botch Gerbil, but that's just the way it is. PSR Harry has proved time and time again that on the last lap of qualifying, he just comes through and actually absolutely smashes it. But I mean, nothing can be taken away by Botch Gerbil. Very nearly in the 1.9s there. I mean, it was a 1:10.003, an incredible lap time, and he's put himself on pole. So you never know what happens if he gets a clean getaway and there's carnage behind him. You certainly don't wish that on anybody, but safety cars can be pretty common around here, especially if me and you are racing, Andrew. But safety cars can be pretty common around Zandvoort. So it's still all to play for. Nathan HRX qualifying in the top 10 on mediums. I'm not saying words, but that's very good. That's very good to him. He's showing a lot of pace there. I'm not saying it because I don't want to curse it, but to be in the top 10 on mediums, we've seen good things happen in that situation.
Definitely, he is running that dangerous alternate strategy, which can work so well around here. But obviously, Zandvoort is a 2.6 mile per lap track, and it will ultimately give us a 36 lap race. and it's only 14 corners. You wouldn't think it, but it is only 14 corners to this race. And you know, to think as well, it's it's such a tight track. There's not a lot of spaces to do overtakes, and it has to be in those heavy braking zones. And obviously the only area that I know of on this track that you can really send it properly and have a super move is in that like snaky section in S2, in sector 2. It just shows you the overall pace of these cars as well, and the downforce that they can have to have fantastic overtakes round there. Matty, let's talk pit stops today. So I've heard rumours that it's about 24 seconds per pit here, on average. How do you think that's going to play out for anybody who's trying to do a two-stop?
Well, it's one of the situations that the one stop is more favourable. Looking at the pit stop strategy is about an average of 24 seconds from pit in to pit exit, and of course that's not including at any time if there's a damaged front wing. Of course, safety cars are pretty common around here, as I said, so you can gain a free pit stop there, but obviously it's got to be at the right time. Both one stop and two stops are viable, but the two stop potentially, if you haven't got any outside aids, could be a bit too time consuming in the pit lane. But you're going to be looking more at about a soft medium strategy if your race goes to plan, if you don't have front wing damage and have to come in on the first lap.
Exactly. Just looking at the amount of drivers starting on medium tyres there, Nathan HRX obviously on what could be considered used mediums. Smates on medium tyres, not having the best of qualifying sessions considering he is 4th in the championship. And then Lucky Do as well on the medium tyres. It seems to be a Haas has decided he's going to take a little bit of a run off the road. And that is PSR Harry.
Well, I was just thinking, Botch Gerbils took them round very, very quickly here. He just wanted to get on with it. There was no messing about, there was no backing up or anything like that. It was purely, I'm going to get us round here. We're going to get going, we're going to get this race started straight away. I really think he's up for this, Botch Gerbil.
Oh, he is. He wants this challenge. You can just see it. You know when you can see it in a driving style, how somebody wants.
He certainly drove very, very aggressively in the qualifying lap. So I'm going to be intrigued to see if he's aggressive off the start. If if he's able to keep PSR Harry at bay. That's one thing for sure.
Here we go. 5 red lights, and off we go here at Zandvoort. What a good start there by the top drivers. Sir Sharks actually making a position up, as it does look like Coder not having the best of starts. Sir Shark still trying to squeeze him out of position. PSR Harry does get ahead on the start. Botch Gerbil not being able to maintain. Ewan did drop a position
Jamie
as well.
29X is round. Jamie 29X, I'm not sure. It doesn't look like he's got any damage to his car, but he was caught. I think he was going side by side. It looked like the Alfa Romeo of Joey. I might be mistaken. It could have been the Williams as well. But he's round, and that's going to be a disaster for him there.
Definitely. I think, he wasn't on for the best of races anyway, considering the qualifying. But Liverpool Ewan right now has lost the position to Raza 410, and now that is going to cause a massive issue, because that means Botch Gerbil has a buffer to just fight PSR Harry right now.
Jamie's round again. He's round again. I think he tried to go a little bit too much on the tyre, but he's back facing the right way now. Oh, DCRS makes his carry on the spinning mentality from qualifying, and he's round as well. Unfortunately, devastating for him.
Jamie has damage, so he is going to have to pit. But Harry right now is ahead of Botch Gerbil, and he's just going to hold him behind.
We've seen Harry do this so many times, where he just gets out in front, and I believe we've seen him do it a couple of times with both Ferraris behind him, and he's just been able to get the power down, get away from them, and just dominate the race from the front. Botch Gerbil, if he's gonna have to stick with him at least until DRS is enabled, so that he can use the DRS there to pull him through, as Jamie is unfortunately retired.
Oh,
Franz
has spun. That wasn't the best place to spin in the world, but C-Russ is on the run. He is chasing down Joey. Both of those guys were pretty close in qualifying. But Nathan HRX down in P10 at the moment. Obviously, all the cars above him are on the soft tires, so he is technically the fastest driver on the mediums.
I'm not sure if he potentially broke or tried to get out the way of the spinning McLaren, because he was in P9 and he was battling for P8. So I'm not sure if maybe some outside factors has affected his race there. But Searest is going down the inside of Joey at turn 1. They're going side by side through turn 1. Oh, Searest did absolutely brilliantly well there to cope the back ending, but they're still going side by side. They're wide. Oh, there's been a huge collision.
Big contact.
There's been a huge collision. Joey's out of the race. Searest looks like he hasn't got any damage at all, but they were going side by side. I'm trying to have a look. I can't see any damage on his car, but they were going side by side. Nobody was given an edge. They did make contact with, I believe it was the AlphaTauri of Lucky Do. I think it was, but I can't see any damage on that car either. So unlucky there for Joey, and it's a virtual safety car.
Say now, Nathan HRX is losing a winglet. He's got no left winglet on his front wing, so he's gonna have to pit. I think it was actually him. He got caught up a little bit by a bit of contact ahead, but there is a virtual safety car out just now to clear up the debris that's on track. I'm quite surprised that's not a proper safety car, because the Alpha did actually come to rest on the actual racing surface. So it's interesting to see what this game thinks of safety cars, but you know, it's the way it is.
If you were Nathan now, would you be boxing for the hards, or would you be trying to potentially go for another set of mediums? Lucky did just get to he fooled me then. I thought he was going into the pits as well, but he didn't. He just used Nathan for the toe.
I will say I would probably go for a set of hards, and he actually has, and he's just going to run to the end of the race. It just saves him having to do the 2-stop, but either way, we are racing again. It does leave Nathan HRX, you know, quite behind on, you know, what is considered the slowest tyre in Formula 1. But
tell you somebody that didn't get a good start though from that I'm not sure if he got caught out a little bit, but PSR Harry lost about a 10th there to Botch Gerbil off the restart. I know it's not a full safety car restart, and he doesn't get a full say in when he goes, but Botch Gerbil's reaction was truly incredible there. He's now put himself in a fantastic position to make a move, I think, on this lap through that long sweeping bend, if he can get close enough to PSR Harry and use the DRS.
I will say, Botch Gerbil seems very, very strong round Sector 3 there. You know, he's so close to the back, and he does have DRS. Let's see if he can make the move into T1. He's alongside PSR Harry. He's going to make him go the long way round. And it does look like PSR Harry has held on for just now. They bang wheels a little bit. He lets him know he's there. But he does have the inside line coming into the banked left-hander, sorry. Whoa, that was very close. That was exactly where the contact began for the Joey 645 incident, pretty much. They were alongside, and it did look like somebody just understeered there, and it sent them going wide. So I'm not too sure. They would need to review onboards.
As that battle's going on though, Raza and Liverpool Ewan were getting very, very close to each other. But Liverpool Ewan effectively pushing Raza's gearbox through that sector behind the battle. He was very lucky. I think he may potentially be close enough to make a move, but of course both drivers are going to have DRS. But Raza has drained an awful lot of battery. He's on 30%. Liverpool Ewan is on 95%. That could come into play really at the end of this race.
Exactly, and I think the one interesting thing here,
Here
when
we
you
go.
look at Raza 410, is he's now just got to try and defend. He still has that DRS.
Watch Gerbil's done it, but Harry's
Just needs
back.
to keep him behind.
Watch Gerbil's still having to go around the outside. There's more contact, but Harry's now slotted in behind. Fantastic move there from Bosch Gerbil.
And I was just going to say there.
Oh, Liverpool Ewan's out. Liverpool Ewan's
no.
out. I was on board with PSR Harry. I came back because I saw Liverpool Ewan drop in positions. He's put it in the wall just through that little little right-left. He's put it in the wall in quite a strange place, so I'm not sure if he's spun. His wheel is off, and it's a full-course safety car. It's a full-course safety car here. Liverpool Ewan was so unlucky. Really, really unlucky there.
I think he just tried to catch like a tank slapper there, and it's very difficult to do through that cambering corners. And because as soon as the car starts to slide, sometimes it's gone. I've noticed that especially in Formula One. It can be very difficult to try and catch the back end through there, and I've noticed it as well when I've been racing on in GT3 as well around this track, that sometimes it just takes a little bit of a slide in the back end through there, and that's it. You're into the wall. It's not the best, but Botch Gerbil still flying hard to get into the pits. PSR Harry is staying out.
I don't blame him.
That is very interesting.
I don't blame him, because I think quite a few people are going to box, and I think he's going to make up positions. And as we've said before on this track, and as we've seen already, it's very, very difficult for people to overtake. You know, the softs, you were really looking that if you wanted to do a soft medium strategy, you'd be looking at doing 10 laps or so. If you wanted to do a soft hard, you could do a nut, you could pit on lap 8, lap 9. So some of the people going out on hards could potentially, with the end of the safety car for what, another 2 laps maybe, could potentially make the hards work from here. So I think Nathan has potentially done the right thing with everybody going on hards.
Definitely. I mean, the hards will last a whole race distance, but the grip level on them does deteriorate, and you do have to go slightly slower into corners. But the drop-off is significantly less than the mediums. It's about, you know, double the amount of time, pretty much, on the hard tyres than it is the mediums, and it's pretty much, again, double the amount of time on the mediums to the softs. That's the way I like to think of it anyway. It's not exact, but when you think of the mediums around here, you'll probably manage to get about a good 18 to 20 laps out of them before, you know, you're thinking of death into a wall. So either way, Lucky Do right now, currently P2 on those medium tyres. You know, he thinks he can go and stay on his original strategy, and I think PSR Harry as well.
I'm surprised that Harry stayed out. Really? I'm so surprised Harry stayed out. But no, he's gonna get caught by Botch Gerbil. Botch Gerbil is literally right behind him, obviously having boxing. Harry is either gonna have to work his way through the pack, which is, as we've said, and we keep touching on it, but we need to. It's a very difficult track to overtake for here at Zandvoort, and you know, all Botch Gerbil's got to do is get ahead of him and hope he gets held up in traffic. And I think Harry may have shot himself in the foot slightly. I mean, there's a reason Harry's down there racing in Invictus and I'm up here commentating, because he does know a lot more about this game, and if he proves me wrong, fair enough. But I do really think he may be making a slight mistake here.
I think you may be slightly right, but the strategy call here, and I'm thinking that he might have it in his head, but PSR Harry is thinking that on this restart, he's still got a bit of tyre life in those softs, right? He just tries to keep them warm, not trying to scrub them too much, which you can see he's not aggressive, he's just trying to keep the tyres reasonably warm here. He just has the restart. He's going to have a lot more pace than what Botch Gerbil is going to have on the hard tyre, let's face it. They're going to be about a second a lap near enough still. Maybe not even that, probably about 0.6 of a lap faster, right? PSR Harry just does not need to make a mistake for the next about 5 laps whenever the safety car comes in. Probably even about 4 by the time this comes in.
But even with that, the pace Botch Gerbil showed round here, as the safety car's coming in this lap, but the pace Botch Gerbil showed around here, you know, Botch Gerbil's been no slouch round here. He really hasn't. He's been really rapid. He's been so rapido around here that I really think there is... I don't know, I think Harry's given himself an awful lot of work to do, but here we go. He's leaving it very late to go as well. Look at this. Bunching them right up.
On one of the weaves. There he goes. Look at that. He catches them right out.
But Botch Gerbil looks like he's going to get lucky too. Is he going to go down the inside? No, he's not. Looks like everybody got away cleanly though. Searus is coming round the outside. He's looking to get... Oh, very nearly. He pushed Franz a little bit wide there, but he had to come round. Nathan's in the pits for mediums. Okay. Potentially a strategy call there.
Though, Botch Gerbil, he's already getting left for dead by PSR Harry. He's a whole second and a half near enough behind already, because he managed to catch him out on the restart, and the time's just going higher and higher. There's not
But
much
he's still going to
he can
get
do.
24 seconds ahead. A very good battle emerging. It is Franz versus DCRS Smates here for P9, P10. Franz is effectively pushing Smates' gearbox, but Smates got a much better exit there and has been able to put a little bit of brave and light through. But where they're all bunching it up, I'm sure that battle would reignite. The CRS seem to be pushing MCD Coda through there, but
Dom is right. Harry needs to find about 30 seconds to be safe. He does, but I think the strategy right now is he's going to pit.
Seamus has spun. He's clipped the wall going around the banking. I can't see any damage, but he has spun, which is a cause for release. Franz and Smates. Very unfortunate there for the Aston Martin driver. There's no damage on the car, but maybe he hadn't quite warmed the hards up like he needed to. So unfortunate for him.
We're just on board right now with PSR Harry as he comes downhill towards the sandbank. Very nicely done. He's just keeping those tyres nice. He's not actually putting too much wear on them, but he's doing enough to keep ahead of Lucky Do and Bots Gerbil. You know, he knows where he needs to be on the track to get the optimum amount of grip without scrubbing the tyres too much. And, you know, he's already 2.3 seconds up. And as Dom says, Harry needs to find about 30 seconds to be safe as he comes out. But as we talk about it, he's got to pit, and then he'll be on a faster tyre already, and those hards will be old. So
at the moment, Bots Gerbil's biggest problem is getting past Lucky Do. He's really struggling to get past Lucky Do there. The medium's still working very well. And look at this down the straight. Lucky Do seems to create a no DRS enabled up until now, but Lucky Do seems to get a little bit of a run on him coming out of the last corner, a little bit more traction maybe. And then Bots Gerbil just doesn't seem to have enough in those hards just yet to overtaking him. And the more he's stuck behind Lucky Do through Sector 1, through the tricky Sector 1 and Sector 2, PSR Harry, that's where he's gaining most of his time at the moment.
Raza's trying to get past IRL Mats right now. IRL
Surely
Mats
not.
is the local countryman to this track.
Surely he wasn't thinking of a move around there. That would have been very, very brave, but he thought better of it.
Exactly, as I was just saying as well, our very own IRL Mats is actually from this part of the world. This is his home track, so you know he's actually doing pretty well right now up into P5 on the hard tyres, trying to hold Raza 410 behind, doing a very good job of it. So I've just got to hope that the DRS train doesn't leave him behind.
So I've just been doing a little bit of investigating, and Lucky Do has been using practically all of his DRS to defend from Bots Gerbil. So Bots Gerbil's energy at the moment is just flittering around the 90s. Lucky Do is just flickering around 10%. He's literally used it all on this straight, and here comes Bots Gerbil. And he finally gets past Lucky Do. It's great defending from Lucky Do to keep him behind. But Raza as well going side by side with IRL Mats to get round. And now we've got the Williams of MCD Coda and Mats going side by side. The tyres coming into play there as Coda can go a little bit wider on the softs and get better traction. They bump wheels and Coda's wheels on the grass. They're going to go side by side here up the little hill. And Coda slots in behind. Mats did very well to defend. Great racing from the both of them not to spin each other out. Fantastic racing, gentlemen.
Definitely. I was just watching that battle from the rear wing of Raza 410, and you could just see the contact. It wasn't anything light. It was definitely in the, you know, maybe losing the back end side of things, but he definitely let him know that he was there, and that just showed real big cojones from IRL Mats to keep his foot in there when that happened. So very well done to him.
And I just want to draw your attention to that gap between PSR Harry and Bots Gerbil. It is falling. Now Bots Gerbil has got clean air and he's not stuck behind a car on 11 lap old mediums. And he's just set the fastest lap of the race as well with a 1:12.9. That lap time is falling as Surfsharks, as Raz has now got Surfsharks. So the other Ferrari up into P4 has these Surfsharks there going down the back straight into Turn 1. Fantastic move from him. As MCD Coda, MCD Coda sneaking one up the inside of IRL Mats. And he's going to make it stick as well. What a move. They're going side by side. It's not quite done. I thought it was done, but it's not. And Mats is coming back in. What a fantastic battle from these gentlemen.
It just shows you that...
Oh.
Sorry, Matty. That just shows you that Mats has got so much confidence at the top of the hill there, you know. he just has the overall grip that's not found in the cars. That's found in the driver. He's definitely got that up there.
I think it shows the respect they have for each other, the fact that they can trust each other to go wheel for wheel through that situation on 2 separate laps. Both of them come out unscathed, and they're still looking to do it again. As Coda's going to make a move at the inside here, but Matt cuts him off very, very nicely. But I do only think it's a matter of time before Coda makes this move stick eventually on Matt. I definitely think it's coming.
I will say he's got less energy.
And it's coming now.
But he has made it work. He had no DRS, and it looks like
Oof.
the other DCRS mates tried to have a look in there, but Matt just closed the door. He was like, "I've had enough of you. I've let your teammate through, but I'm not letting you through." That's
I think he's had enough of seeing the Williams for one day, to be honest.
He's now in a Williams sandwich, so he's going to be seeing them for a little while yet. His mates is still not giving up. He wants that position off of Matt, but you've got to remember that Matt is he's still on the hard tyre in comparison to these two drivers.
Harry's got a box.
On the softs and on the mediums. Yeah, Harry does need to pause.
Look at the time. The time is tumbling. I know the hard tyres are the slower compound, but the time is tumbling. Surely he's going to have to box. And then he's going to have to work his way all up through the traffic. He's going to have to overtake. Some of these drivers are going to the end of the race, so if one of them puts up a fight, we're going to see now if he's going to box. He is boxing. He is boxing. He's surely going to be going on to the mediums, but you never know what strategy he's got in mind. That releases botch gerbil.
Yeah, he is going on the medium.
Smates now gets Matt.
Matty.
Smates has now overtook IRL Matt. Nothing he could really do to defend there.
The thing is now, Smates, he's on 6 lap old mediums. He is going to struggle getting those to the end, whereas IRL Matt will do fine getting those hards to the end. He just needs to follow the camber of the road and he'll be perfectly fine. No excursions and all good. Either way, Raza410 is actually catching up with Lucky Do right now, and the battle is starting to heat up for that position because Lucky Do has no DRS.
And he's also fought on 14 lab old mediums, so he's done double the time as Raza's mediums here. But Ferrari are looking in a very good position. If they can get Raza past Lucky Do, then you know they've got a 1-2. There could be some team orders at play here in terms of if Harry gets through the pack. Raza could do Botch Gerbil a favour in terms of the Constructors' Championship and the Drivers' Championship.
Exactly, I think that's exactly what happened last time out in Russia for when we were watching and commentating on the race. There was definitely team orders involved.
And he's got past him, they're going side by side.
But look at that, the much better grip coming out of that corner.
100% fantastic move. Grip. And Surfshark is now gaining on Coda.
Oh yeah, Raza410 obviously got the better tyres, and you can just see 8 laps versus 15 laps. 8 laps is always going to win, unfortunately. MC Decoder obviously flying down the hill now, trying to chase down Lucky Do. He's not too far off the back.
PSR Harry has obviously come out on the hards, and he is taking that time down to the McLaren on the 8 lap old soft. Sorry, yeah, he is on the mediums, but he's taken that lap time very, very rapidly down to Franz on the soft tyres. But he's going to have to make that move stick, because I think Franz is just about within DRS of Matt if he can keep it. Oh, no, he's not actually. That rear wing did not open then, so he may be out of DRS. But it's when Harry gets through to Smates, gets through to Coda, gets through to Surfsharks, people like that, I think that's where he's going to struggle in that DRS train.
Exactly, and I mean, I'm watching Surfsharks right now. He is out of DRS, and Smates is in DRS, so that's not going to go very well for Shark. Mr. Sharky Boy, he needs to get up there, he needs to push it hard, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, Harry's made that move already on Franz, so he is now up to P8 and is off in hot pursuit of the Red Bull in front of IRL Matt. Massive tyre difference there, but look at the gap between Raza and Botch Gerbil. It's already up to 5.5 seconds.
Lucky Do is still holding on to that DRS though on 16 lap old mediums. He does need to get them to about 20 laps so that you can get a good run. on the soft tyre. But I'm sure those medium tyres are starting to feel worse for wear. But he'll be alright, I assume, to get to the end on the soft tyres, if he even pitted. Within the next, I would say, about 5 laps. So he needs to push hard. Let's see where he goes. As you did see, 14 laps is as much as PSR Harry can muster on the softs. It was about 13 laps and he started to lose grip. You also got to remember he had the race start on those as well.
Talking to PSR Harry, he's just breezed past Matt's there on the much fresher tyre.
Oh, Sir Shark's just spun! He just lost the back end a little bit through turn 1. He's only lost a few positions, about 4 positions there, but I'm sure no matter what, he needs to try and push to get that times back.
That's a free position though for Harry, but it's also a free position Williams boys in front. Now the Williams boys have worked really well together today. I think they've been trying to make moves together, they've been trying to defend together, they've been backing cars up into the other one. So I think Harry may struggle to get past both of these, but I think it's going to be, well, he has.
DCR's mates actually just let PSR Harry back in that position. PRS Harry just basically was given that position because I think Smates was like, I know you're faster and I kind of want you to be up in the front, so here's your position, take it.
It's very commendable driving there. That is very true.
I do exactly the same. If I know there's a guy that's faster than me, I do just let them by. I've done that most of my racing career. I know it's not the best way to do it, but if there's a guy that's considerably faster than you, sometimes it's nice just to give them the position instead of having to potentially defend and waste your tyres or even put your car at risk of getting damaged.
It certainly is. But we're looking down here. Nathan HRX has got past the car of Cirrus, who I believe is in AI mode, so I believe he's lost connection again, unfortunately. He did say in the Discord that he was having a bit of issues with his connection tonight and he has retried Xbox, etc. So that's a shame for him in the Aston Martin.
Either way, PSR Harry is in DRS zone of MC Decoder, and MC Decoder is right behind Lucky Do. I think Lucky Do is starting to feel the end of life on his mediums about now, but he needs to try and get them a 1 or 2 more laps to just get them to the end on some softs. We've got about 16 laps left to go.
Code is boxed.
13 to 14 laps on the softs.
Code is boxed. He's come in, so that's now put Harry on 4 lap old mediums against Lucky Do on 19 old lap mediums here, and then
already right there.
Coda has gone on to mediums.
Oh, he's going to go round the outside on the banking corner. He gets better grip. Does he get the better run though? Lucky Do trying to squeeze him a little bit. PRS Harry does take to the little bit of karting track, I call it, coming around there, but he has managed to make the move stick coming down into Sandbank. So very nicely done from PSR Harry. Now he's got to contend with the Ferrari teammates right up above him, who are 1-2.
This is where he's going to have... Oh, Sir Sharks picks up the first penalty of the day, a 3-second time penalty. Disappointing day so far for the Mercedes driver, so I think he's going to be very disappointed with that. But this is where now, are we going to see tactics come out to play? Harry's going to have to clear Raza as quickly as he can, and I believe he's fluctuating a little bit here at a DRS, but he is going to get DRS. Raza, of course, is not. So that's the one advantage he's got.
Definitely, and I think Raza 410 we've seen this season he's just had fantastic defense skills all round, and there's no much you can really say in the sense that PSR Harry, you know, he has the newer tires, so he's getting better exits, but Raza 410 can still throw that car into the entry of the corner just as fast, but he's not going to into Sandbank. He had to really slow down a little bit, trying to regen a lot of ERS through there, just so he's got it for the second DRS zone. But is he going to have it round the outside? He's going to try. He had a look, but the two cars, you know, not close enough just yet. But DRS wide open, and there we go. PSR Harry makes the move stick, gets right past Raza 410. Now it's just a straight run on to Bots Gerbil, who is
Raz
only
is going to get
8.8
DRS on
seconds
the
up
way
the
back,
road.
surely. There's a yellow flag. I think that was Franz potentially going off track.
Fran had a little bit of a spin there. But Raza 410 isn't going to be close enough to make any sort of dive into T1. So PSR Harry just doing enough to get through.
Looking at the battle here, IRL
Already
Matt.
starting to make time as well.
IRL Matt is really now catching up to DCRS Smate. I think the hards are now really starting to come into play. Matt, who has battling with the Williams, how they've really turned here. We've got a yellow flag, it's a Mercedes. It's Sir Shark's round.
It'll be Sir Sharks.
Unfortunately for him,
banking.
no damage
Got
though.
going again.
He's all okay, no damage, so we are good there. Lucky dude, 21 laps now on those mediums. We've got another yellow flag in sector 1. Franz is out.
That is Franz.
He's
And that's a
actually
safety
out.
car. That is a safety car.
Oh,
That is a heavy crash.
You know who that has come perfectly in time for? Lucky
That's
dude.
come for Lucky Do and Bots Gerbil to get off of those hard tires if he really wants.
Lucky by name, lucky by nature there. Unlucky though for Franz in
You can
that
go onto the
McLaren.
softs from this point. Now it's up to Harry. Does Harry pit?
Gerbil's box.
He is pitting.
And
Harry's
it's going to be a
pitting
straight.
as well.
It's going to
They're
be a straight
gonna go
shoot.
onto the softs.
Raz's box. Lucky dude does obviously box, but Lucky dude's picked up a penalty. How unlucky. That was the commentator's curse for me calling him lucky. That was my fault. I do apologise. Lucky's jumped Raza.
Harry is out.
The Ferrari's double stacked, did they? Oh, I think I had a timing glitch there, I think, because it said that Lucky Dude was ahead of Raza. MCD Coder had obviously only boxed a couple of laps before he stayed out on the mediums. So moves up to P4.
Only has 3 seconds of time penalties, which is good. And Sir Shark's only got 3, so we've got reduced penalties this race, it seems, for our drivers. But we'll just keep off the tyres. No, we need to put the tyres on just now, and we'll talk about them. And then we'll take them off. So everybody's pretty much... MCD Coder staying on the mediums, because he did just box. IRL Match changes to medium tyres to get to the end. He's not too confident getting on the softs. C-Russ holding on to those hard tyres. Obviously, he's not had the best of times this race.
Well, he's currently in AI.
To soft tyres.
He's lost connection, so it's not him controlling this car. So this is now roles are reversed here. We saw Harry lead them away from the first safety car, if I'm correct in saying. And he absolutely got them right on the exit. Nobody could really keep up with him. It's going to be interesting to see Botch Gerbil's approach here, because Harry's going to be looking for, you know, that slightly later on the weave, slightly what I call sneaky getaway. So it makes me wonder whether Botch Gerbil is going to try and go a little bit earlier. He may even try and, you know, go later and see if he can get in there. As IRL Mats is back into the pits. Oh, he's gone for softs.
Yeah, he's realised he can run from softs here.
We may end up with the safety car coming in this lap, to be fair, because Mats is going to join right up on the back of the queue. And it's going to be...
I think Smates has made... Sorry, not Smates. MCD Coder has made a little bit of a error in his tyres now. He's just got... Now he's going to have to try and hold on with everybody around him on fresh, soft tyres, and he's on 3-lap old mediums. I mean, they're not going to die out as quick, but off the bat, they're already like 0.6 laps slower. So, I mean, you've got to think about the fact that the soft tyre through safety car, they're just lightly scrubbing the top surface, taking the lamination off the top, and then you've got to also look at MCD Coder, who has already started delaminating the tops of the tyres, making sure they're alright. I mean, delaminating is actually the wrong words to use, because that's actually taking the wall of the tyre off. But the top layer of skin on the tyres...
That's a very early call for the safety car.
Yeah, actually it is. Round here it is on the second DRS straight, because there's not much got to try and defend.
And Box Gerbil's already boxing them, backing them up straight away from that call. Harry's going to have to be a little bit careful here. He's going to go.
PSR Harry.
Oh, he went to, and then he's bottled it. But I say bottled it, he stopped. Oh.
A bit of an shark there. And there he goes. He actually catches Harry out just a tiny bit, but not by much. Harry was waiting for that call to be made. Raza having to defend hard from MCD Coder on the restart. It looked like he got caught out a little bit. Actually dives deep, and Nathan HRX has retired in the pit lane.
There was obviously, he got tapped under the safety car, I believe by Sir Sharks. I believe that was the message. So I'm not sure whether he had damage there. It's unfortunate for him. It all looked so promising at the start of the race, but unfortunately for him, it's not ended probably as he wants, which is a shame.
Next time we commentate, Matty, we just don't need to say his name.
Deal.
We don't say his name. Deal. Because I think every time we talk about him before the race, something bad happens, and I feel bad. He can slate us off in the chat. We'll just have to take it. We'll just have to take the abuse. This PSR Harry is still there. He's not close enough really to think about making any moves without DRS.
He is going purple through the sectors, so he is quicker than Botch Gerbil at the moment. And look at Botch Gerbil and Harry. They have absolutely left Raza behind. A second already. Botch Gerbil. I talked about Harry going. I talked about Harry going quicker, and I completely dodged over Botch Gerbil there. I do apologise, buddy. So Botch Gerbil with the quickest lap of the race.
Yeah, he's been absolutely flying. That last lap, he just was holding on to push hard.
Oh, Sir Sharks is out. That might be another safety car.
Everybody's died today, pretty much.
That might be another safety car.
It might be, but
I don't think it will be.
Just holding yellows. It's just a sector yellow, which is fair enough because they are driving around the whole track. It's probably just close enough for them to grab the car by two hands and pull it over, because that's how light F1 cars, isn't it? Either way, PSR Harry is all over the back of Botch Gerbil. There is no safety car, no nothing, so it's made everybody's strategy just a little bit easier.
Looking at this, Ferrari could be on for a great finish here. Ferrari could really look at helping themselves in the constructors, but lucky do. Obviously, we were talking about how long he could go on those medium tyres. Yes, okay, you can call it luck with the safety car, but obviously being able to box and go onto the softs, his strategy's worked out absolutely fantastically so far.
Exactly. I think when you think of the two Ferraris, you've got to think Botch Gerbil has been on fire today, absolutely on fire, and Raza 410's defense hasn't been as up to scratch as he may, like, his teammate may have wanted. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, when PSR Harry makes a move, it's very difficult to defend, but you know, Raza 410 hasn't really had a chance to fully show his defense off today. So I mean, for him, I'm not too sure if it's been the best of days. It would be all down to maybe speaking to him at the end if he keeps on going. But other than that, we'll see how it goes.
As we've got, looks like Lucky Do is going to try and make a move here. Oh, he didn't quite make it work, but he's so now in the same position of IRL Matt in a Williams sandwich. And talking to Matt, he's joining the back of this crew. It looks like we've got two different battles going on here. We've got this battle for P4. And then we've got, obviously, the battle for the lead. They all move to the right to get out of the train of each other. Surely it's not going to be three wide.
We're going 3 wide in the T1. Oh, a little bit of contact there on Lucky Do's car. Has he got damage? No, he's managed to get away with that one just.
Oh, Matt! But where is that coming from?
That is Matt coming in out of nowhere. Tries to take the bank in deep.
It was almost another RKO out of nowhere. But he's doing it again.
RKO out of nowhere.
He's done it! No, he's not. Go on.
But I'm going to say as well, PSR Harry is now 0.2 behind Botch Gerbil, and he has run deep.
But Matt has made it
that
stick.
Was very close.
Matt has made it stick. They went side by side for basically a whole sector there. Fantastic driving from the both of them to avoid all contact, to avoid all damage. And then,
I just
ooh,
want to
little bit
say,
of a
Harry is now balancing outside of
little bit of
DRS
Williams team
after
orders
making
there.
that mistake.
Coda obviously on the 7th lap old mediums has let Smates go on the 4 lap old softs. So he's now released his teammate, and Raza, we have mentioned, hasn't shown as much pace as the top two. Is he going to be a little bit worried about the Williams behind?
I think he might be. There's not much you can really say about that, but
Oh,
IRL
Matt!
Matt is going for a dive down the inside. Does he make it stick though? He bashes wheels with MC Decoder. He's still going for it. He's going to go round the outside of the banking. He's still going to look for it, but he's not got the overall pace. Oh, that was so close. What a fantastic look down the inside there from Matt. He read that situation perfectly.
It was absolutely fantastic. Matt has just been so opportunist today. Every time the Williams have either battled or something like that, he's always been there to nip in. He's always been there to pick up the scraps, and that's exactly what you need.
He's been exactly that, Matty. He's just been ready to hoover up anything on the track that's gone wrong by a few drivers. And yeah, he's just been very consistent today.
I'm now debating.
Not much we can really say about
I'm now debating if the Williams drivers did put Smates in front to chase down Raza, because the gap between Raza and Smates is going up.
It's dropping.
It looks like it's going up from my screen, but what does look like is happening is Smates is pulling Coda along on those mediums.
Potentially that could be what it's been made for, but also you've got to look at the fact that Raza 410 is also not got DRS. Smates won't have DRS.
Exactly, and that's what's making me think, is this a plan for Williams to just get both drivers as high as they possibly can? Because it's now over 3.2.
Didn't do very well in qualifying either as well, so Smates didn't necessarily have the fastest times in the qualifying session.
It's now 3.3, it is really going up.
Yeah, it's starting to change quite a lot, but PSR Harry is still hunting down Bots Gerbil. This battle is continually going on. PSR Harry has been quicker than Bots Gerbil these past few laps after making the mistake. As we look, he's just trying to hold on to the apex as much as he can in that dirty air. Now he is looking to have a run. He will have DRS. All the ERS being used, but PSR Harry goes round the outside. He just can't make it stick just yet. He is very close though. He's literally on the gearbox of the number 19 Ferrari of Bots Gerbil. This is invigorating. We've got 5 laps this race to go, and these guys are just not letting off the gas pedal. It's like they're not hitting the brakes either. Effortless.
These two out in front showing that they're in a world of their own today. Look at the gap they've got to Raza behind. It's just a two-way battle here it's a two-way battle that is really, when you look into it and you get down to the nitty-gritty, it's a two-way battle that is effectively for massive points at a massive stage of the title.
Exactly, so I'm just going to tell you now what the points were for each team coming into this race. Ferrari is first at the moment, 139. Second is Haas on 72. Third is Alpha on 71. And fourth is Williams on 64. And bear in mind that first is 15 points. Second is 12 points. And third is 10. So there's not a lot of a points gap between first, second and third there. So you think about that, that is an easy 25 points for Ferrari to add to their tally today. And that will push Bots Gerbil a little bit farther ahead in the championship as well. As we look on, the battle is still going on between PSR Harry and Bots Gerbil. He is now only 0.3. He can't make a mess of the entry of this corner like he did before. He tried to have a look down the outside before, and it's just not where you want to be looking. Bots Gerbil on the gas early. He does get an excellent exit, but DRS is dragging PSR Harry along for the next 5 or so laps. This battle
in the midfield is still going on as well here.
Just to bear in mind, this is brought to you guys by GT Omega, Driver 61, and the one and only Grid Finder. Without these guys, this league wouldn't happen. Make sure to go and check all of them out. Description. Oh,
MCD.
sorry,
Oh,
channel description. Our description.
MCD Smates has let Coda go.
Obviously, Coder was looking a bit quicker.
Smates has let
than
Coda
Smates there.
go. I think that was a plan from Williams. Get Coda ahead. Get Smates ahead of Coda when he was on the soft tyres. When the soft tyres were fresh. When he could pull Coda along.
We've had a raid, Matty. Sorry. We've had a raid of a party of 15. Thank you very much for the raid, BFE tournament. Really do appreciate it. Sorry, carry on, Matty.
So I think there, Smates obviously with the fresh soft tyres has pulled Coda along on the slightly used medium, has helped him save a little bit of tyres, has helped him save a little bit of ERS, and now when those softs have started to drop off, they've absolutely switched positions, which is an absolutely genius strategy with 2 laps to go, because now Coda can pull Smates along, keep him within DRS, keep IRL mats behind, and that's a fantastic opportunity there. As we got,
just gonna
let's go,
your
Smates.
attention, Matty, to the front of the pack. Botch Gerbil is just holding on to PSR Harry right now. Harry has a full ERS pretty much sitting there, and Botch Gerbil has only used half of his. So it could be down to who gets the better entries and exits of these corners, and it's so down to the wire. On these corners, we can see Harry's been having fantastic corner speed.
Oh, Mats is round and he's out.
All day.
Mats is round. Oh, he's not out, but he's lost his front wing, which is an absolute disaster. But the Williams have played that perfectly. It's so unlucky for Mats. Absolutely so unlucky. He's going to be devastated for that's happened. He's going to have to box as well. What a shame for the Red Bull.
Exactly. Just want to make the comment on Rose. Big Fair Moto tonight is currently working. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to race so much this season due to a changed work schedule. But he is looking to come back next season to race a lot more. Either way, PSR Harry still pushing hard. Botch Gerbil is starting to lose a lot of that ERS, and Harry is not using any of it. It's got 2 laps of racing left to go here.
That is the main battle on track now.
Is the GOAT. But right now, Botch Gerbil is the big GOAT for holding PSR Harry behind him for this whole entire race.
I don't want to tempt fate, but is anybody else seeing how dark it's getting around Zandvoort?
I mean, it's only just getting dark, and there's 2 laps left to go. So let's just hope that the rain stays away and we can actually see this out in the dry. Either way, PSR Harry, he's just not having good speed in that corner today. But he does have DRS. He deploys his ERS slightly out of that corner. He's right behind Botch Gerbil. These guys are so close. It's unreal. He's got to make a last lap lunge. He can't get these last corners wrong.
This is going to come down to the last straight here. Going on to the last lap. But I think Botch Gerbil's got ahead just enough, surely.
Only just, but doesn't stop PSR Harry from having a look into one of the next corners. He's so close. He's just letting off the brakes to try and give himself the edge. This is really fantastic racing from these two today. 2 Ferrari engines battling out on track.
Well, the Ferrari are on for a double Ferrari podium here, but what positions are they going to be? Are they going to be first and third or second and third?
He had some fantastic speed out of the first bank in there, but this is where he's been getting it wrong all day. His setup just hasn't been allowing the front end to stick as much as Botch Gerbil. You can see how much PSR Harry is sliding. Now he's got to try and make this move stick. Can he push the car? It's so close. He's only got a few more corners to go, but it does look like Botch Gerbil is going to hold on to the win here at Zandvoort. Raza 410 is going to take third as it stands.
What a fantastic race there from Botch Gerbil.
And here we go. It's down to the line. Botch Gerbil takes the win at Zandvoort. Fantastic racing today from Botch Gerbil. PSR Harry just a little bit unlucky, just one more lap, and that would have been Harry pretty much right there. You know, that safety cars today really caused some massive changes, and it did show that PSR Harry, his strategy nearly worked.
Matt is in the gravel as he's doing his own parade lap to say thank you there to the cameraman over there.
Exactly, he's just saying thank you to everybody for turning
Noodle,
up.
you did call it. Noodle did call Botch Gerbil and the Ferraris to do well, and you were spot on with the first and third podium. Fantastic drive from them, but what a race all round. But yeah, what a race all round.
Exactly, it was just, you know, it looked like a lot of fun to be in that race. I'm just going to check and see who is willing to do race interviews. Botch Gerbil will do an interview with us, hopefully. And PSR Harry should be able to do a interview with us as well. But Raza 410 does not have one. So we will just have Botch Gerbil and we will have PSR Harry in with us here tonight. So if you want to maybe invite them for me, man, as we just talk about the race there. Botch Gerbil, you know, just insane today, and you know he's getting that win. Now, to say the least, I want to say this now, Matty, who do you think was your driver of the day?
Now, I'm going to be controversial and awkward, but I've decided I do what I want. I'm not going to award one driver of the day today. I'm going to award two, and it's not going to be for the top two. I'm going to award it to DCRS Mates and MC Decoder. They did not have the best of qualifying, and it's no offence to the top two drivers. They put on a great show, great battle, but the teamwork there shown by Coda and Mates to swap positions to you know, make sure that they had the quickest driver pulling the other one along, for me is why Williams have got 4th and 5th there and picked up fantastic points for the Constructors' Championship. So I'm going for Coda and Smates.
I think driver of the day to me has to go to IRL Mats, just for the amount of defense he put up today, and you know he just had the biggest cojones ever at the top of the hill for that really windy section. He's just holding on for dear life and just was a bit braver than the other guys. But in the party now, we have with us one of everybody's, it should be everybody's favourite Canadian, and that is Botch Gerbil. How are you doing, buddy? Hopefully you've got your audio included in the broadcast.
Yeah, I do. How's it going?
How's it doing, buddy? Fantastic race from yourself tonight. Congratulations on P1. How do you think your race went from your point of view?
Yeah, it was a really tough race. Having PSR Harry behind me, I don't know how many laps, and DRS is stressful. I was using everything I could. I had nothing left at the end, but it was just enough to hold him off to keep P1. Quali really helped me out there. Track position always is key around the track, so difficult to overtake, which is the short straight. So once I was in P1, I knew I just had to keep that position in order to stay ahead.
Definitely. And I mean, when you saw PSR Harry's strategy call at the safety car to stay out, were you a bit surprised?
No, I knew the mediums were pretty quick compared to the hards, so they could make up time. I was just hoping he'd get stuck in traffic behind me enough that I'd be able to pull away in a gap on the hards, which I was starting to do. I think I had almost 9 seconds and was holding it for a little bit. But then the safety car came out, which just changed everything. But the soft run at the end was a lot of fun, but man, a lot of pressure as well.
Definitely. And I've got one more question for you, and that is, you know, I know it might be a little bit early to call it, but that puts you another good few points ahead in the championship. Obviously, both you and Raza 410 finishing there, that gives you, I think, 25 points. I'm not too sure who got the fastest lap, if it was yourself or PS or Harry. That would need to be confirmed. But that's another 25 points, and Haas only getting what is considered to be and only 12 points there. So you're carrying the championship. Do you think you'll win it this season?
Yeah, it's pressure's building up with these last couple of races. Still, anything can happen. If I have 2 bad races in a row, my lead's gone. It can happen very quickly. So I just gotta stay focused and keep hoping to get on the podium for the rest of the season. And yeah, a couple more race wins would be lovely.
Exactly, and I just want to congratulate you because you're now tied for all-time podiums with the one and only DJ Danny, and that is 23 podium finishes in the F1 Xbox League. So very well done to yourself. And I don't know if Matty has any questions for yourself before we wrap the stream up.
No, I just want to say a huge congratulations and thank you for putting on a great show for us to commentate on this evening. It was certainly entertaining to watch, especially into the last few races. And good luck, well, massive good luck for the rest of the season and for the next few races.
Yeah.
Definitely, and that's echoed from myself as well. Thank you very much for joining us in the comms box for tonight, and hopefully we get a chance to speak to you again soon.
Yeah, thanks guys. I'm gonna enjoy listening to the stream back after.
Good. Thank you very much. And that is all we have time for tonight. Once again, I want to thank our sponsors for the fantastic work they've put in to help us out tonight, and that is Driver 61, GT Omega, and Grid Finder. And I don't know if IRL Maps wants to say anything. He's joined this. He's joined the party. It's all right. You can jump in and stay till we wrap up the stream. But once again, thank you very much for watching tonight. I have been Papa Goose, and I've been joined by the wonderful Matty Valander as always. And we'll see you all guys. See you guys again soon. Thank you. Good night.